Hello, welcome to another episode of Thy Truth. If your partner yells at you, should you be concerned? Is this a red flag? Is yelling part of verbal abuse? When it comes to arguments in a relationship, I think it's important. It means that you're not suppressing your negative feelings. It means that you're able to vent your thoughts to your partner. It means you're not shutting out. It means that you can express how you feel. I'll be very concerned if a relationship is without quarrels or fight. It means there's a problem. But yelling? Would yelling achieve much? No. Personally, I say no, because as much as arguments are, they're common in a relationship, yelling should not be a thing. Once in a while, yes, you might raise your voices at each other to show your frustration and annoyance to a certain situation. But when it becomes a constant thing where you keep yelling, you cannot communicate without raising your voice and yelling at each other, it's unhealthy. So you ask yourself, what is the purpose of yelling? Are you trying to express the gravity of the situation, of how your partner makes you feel, or what they've done? Or are you trying to induce fear? Or you don't even recognize when you yell because you grew up in an environment where yelling was normal. Or you yell because your partner provoked you, your partner yelled as well, so you reciprocated by yelling as well. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't make yelling right. If you're trying to induce fear, it will be difficult for your partner to think while in a state of fear. Makes me remember what my father used to do. If we do something very wrong or something that we know we're going to get a whooping, as soon as it comes in, he tries to avoid screaming or shouting at us. Because I think he knows that if he starts to shout or scream at us, he will get so much anger, or it will get more angry, and it will lead him to give us a whooping in that state of anger, and we might get hurt. So instead, he would look at us. He had this look in his face. And I think as time went on, we understood how he functioned. He would wait for us to be calm. He would wait for himself. He would be calm as well. Probably when you're relaxing, you're sleeping, and you think, I'm free from this wahala. That's when he wakes you up and tries to correct you. And while he's correcting you, of course with a whooping, he's calm. He's telling you why he's doing what he's doing, why you shouldn't do what you did. Pretty much he's calm, very calm, and no one is yelling except you crying, of course, because of the whooping. But he's saying it in a very calm way, and trust me, it's sinking right in. So with yelling, I think yelling is unhealthy when you want to resolve a conflict in a relationship. It doesn't help. Nothing productive comes out from yelling. There's several reasons why there's no point in yelling at your partner. Because when you do that constantly, when you keep yelling at your partner, you tend to call them names. And it's not healthy. Have you noticed that when you keep yelling, it gets to a point when you're both yelling at each other, you start to name call. You start to curse each other out. You bitch, or you mumu man, foolish woman, he goat, she goat. There's so many things that can be said in the heat of the moment. You start to curse each other, screaming at each other, and sometimes it can lead to physical abuse. Intimidating your partner by yelling because you want to be heard, you want to be understood, it actually doesn't help in the long run. Number 2, people like me who stay away from confrontations, we don't like confrontations, yelling might shut your partner down. They will not want to communicate. They just go to that shell, to your shells, and they don't want to come out. At the end of the day, you're not resolving the problem. You're just making it worse. Number 3, while you're yelling in the heated moment and the heat of the moment, you might just say something wrong. You might just say something that you don't even mean, something you cannot take back. You might say something very hurtful, something that would pretty much just sabotage your bond. And he will always remember it. She will always remember it. Even after you reconcile, the issue might be gone, but they will always remember that word, those hurtful things. Even, like I said, you might not even mean it. You didn't mean it. You just said it out of anger, but it stays. Number 4, yelling can get you into a fight. Yelling can get you into a fight mode where you react, which was, I talked about it, you get physical, or in a flight mode where you're silent. You just go or move into your shells. Yelling, it doesn't help. Now that you know how this affects your partner, how yelling doesn't really solve anything, what do you do? Okay? If you're someone who yells a lot, sometimes you raise your voice without even knowing that you're yelling. There's some people like that. They start talking, before you know it, the tone of their voice just goes really high. So if there's a problem, if your voice is normally a 5, if you start a conversation, you can start it with a 2. Since we've established that yelling doesn't really help when there's a misunderstanding, it's better to just clear the air. If something is bothering you, your partner did something wrong, your partner did something they shouldn't have done, it's bothering you, talk about it with them. If you find that your partner is raising your voice in a loving way, in a mutually respectful way, talk about it with your partner. Let them know, in a loving way, honey or babe, whichever, you're raising your voice. I know it's sometimes your situations that would just get you into that heat at the moment. Just so you know, understand that this person is your partner. This person cares a lot about you. If not, you won't be in a relationship. When you have that understanding that you're dealing with someone, your partner, and you understand that yelling will not solve the problem, maybe that would help. And then if you get angry easily, focus your anger on something else. If you're someone who you're going to get really angry and start yelling, getting out of the situation will help, where you just walk away and you both understand this. If it helps, why not? So you state what is bothering you, and then you come back to it and deal with the problem. Just put it at the back of your mind that yelling at the top of your voice to intimidate, to try to solve a problem, to communicate, will not help. We communicate mutually, respectfully, where no one goes on a fight mode or a flight mode. I hope this helps. Thank you for listening. Meet you again at another episode of Thy Truth. Finding Your Truth with Efemena.